Farm members, I'm going to show you a couple interesting things in the box today, so keep watching. The first thing that I have on top is my hot peppers. And so some of you are hot pepper lovers and some of you aren't, but maybe you have someone in your family, and I'm going to show you a couple easy things to do with them so that you're not overwhelmed. Maybe you really want some hot peppers, jalapeno, but you're only going to use one or two this week in a recipe, and then you wonder what to do with the rest of the pint. Same thing with these banana peppers, or as we're calling them, Hungarian wax peppers, because that's what they are, but a lot of times people just know them as banana peppers. So I just today sliced up my jalapenos and put them in this jar. They are, I didn't take the seeds out or anything because I'm just going to cover them with brine. Brine is water and salt mixture, usually ranging from a 4% to a 7 or 8% solution. And this is one of the books that I use as a guide when I'm making a brine. It has a nice salt chart in the back. This is Ferment Your Vegetables by Amanda Pfeiffer, and I did meet her at a farming conference and got her to sign my book. But the salt chart in the back is what I'm going to use today to finish off this jar of pickled peppers, brined jalapenos. I'll probably cut up some more to fill this all the way up to the top. Then I'm going to pour a brine over it using 1 cup of water and then 1 to 2 teaspoons of sea salt. 1 to 2 is a 4% solution, maybe up to 5%. You don't have to be exact. The time and temperature here in the summer varies, and so will the activity in your ferment, and it doesn't matter too much. To be exact, you would weigh the salt by grams, so it has 9 grams or 12 grams for 5%. I'm probably just going to put 1.5 teaspoons in my 1 cup of water. 1 cup of water may or may not fill this all the way up to the top, so I might make 2 cups of water and double it, what I just told you, so that I make sure that I have enough. And I showed you in my sauerkraut video that you want to have the brine all the way up to the top and then use something to push everything down so there's no little pieces floating on top, because that's what's going to catch bacteria and mold spores and start growing things. So as long as everything's pushed down under the brine, you're good to go. And this will only take a couple of days, maybe a week, to start fermenting. And then you can put it in the fridge and they'll last all year long. If you keep getting peppers and you want to keep doing this, you can. You can also, I was also tempted to just either throw them whole or sliced into my dehydrator, or you could slow roast them in an oven. And then you have dried ones that you can just keep in a container and use those when you need some spice into it in a dish. That is peppers, and one of my favorite cookbooks, so I hope you take note of that. Here are the tomatillos. They are a husked tomato, kind of like a ground cherry. And these are great for making green or salsa verde. You'll find lots of recipes for roasting these and then putting them in a blender, and that's the base for your salsa verde. So enjoy those. They're probably only going to be around for a week or two. And you'll need some jalapenos to make that. And we're picking green beans every day. I think Ruben is enjoying it. He's been spending hours out there. And it's just, now that the heat has dissipated, it's actually a nice way to relax and just be alone with your thoughts while you're picking bushels of beans. Let's see. Oh, I have these hot peppers as well. green ones, I think they will turn red later in the year. And I think they're serrano peppers. I can check on my thing here, but I'm not going to be able to read it very well. Serrano peppers, they're about the same heat range, maybe a little bit more than jalapenos, and they're going to be great for your salsas, fermenting or drying or chopping up and throwing in a freezer bag. That works too. Everybody knows what to do with the cherry tomatoes. Lots of, just cut them in half and put them in a salad or pop them in your mouth whole. I hope you're enjoying tomatoes because that's the beginning of the season. That's the beginning of the tomato season. This one I see has a little bit of a spot. I'm just gonna cut that off. It's just on the surface and there's no reason to waste that tomato. Let me check all the rest of them. And these are a little bit yellow, a little bit orange on the top, so leave them on your counter to ripen. Never put tomatoes in the refrigerator. It changes the flavor. You know, after you've cut up your tomatoes and you've eaten them fresh and you have some left over, yes, go ahead and throw them in the refrigerator. It will change the flavor a little bit, so don't ever cut up more than you're gonna need. It's not something that you can prep ahead of time and put in the refrigerator, unless you're gonna throw it into something cooked, a soup or a stew, or you're gonna throw it in the freezer. All right, here are some peaches. These are yellow peaches. I haven't checked to see whether they're freestone or not. Freestone is when you can cut them in half, twist them open, and you get, and the flesh is clear of the pit inside the stone. If the peach is clinging to that pit, it's not freestone. It doesn't really make much of a difference in flavor that I've noticed. And I finally got garlic in my box. I know Farmer Ruben's been offering garlic to you for maybe a couple weeks. So I'm happy to have that. And I have been cutting my eggplant into cubes and salting it, leaving it sit, and then I've stir-fried them in hot oil, that when you get those crispy edges of them, and then melty inside, and a little bit of salt. And then I threw in some spices yesterday, some more Indian spices, and a little bit of jalapeno. That was really delicious side dish. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the slicing cucumbers this week, but they'll probably disappear in my kids' lunches. And I love onion season. I'm so glad we have onions all year round, either scallions or these fresh onions. These are candy onions. They're sweeter onion, they're not for storage, but they last on your countertop for a couple of weeks. So hopefully you can use them. And if you get too many, just chop them up and throw them in a freezer bag. That's a very convenient way to use them, to take them out in the winter and throw them into dishes. The potatoes are bagged, but you're gonna wanna take them out of the plastic bag and keep them in here. They'd be better in a paper bag, somewhere cool and dry. You don't want them to capture moisture and rot inside of the bag if you don't do anything with them. And then last but not least, this is the first week of watermelon. So Farmer Ruben and his crew go through the field and use and decide which ones are ripe enough to pick. Sometimes the spot on the bottom helps them decide that too. And so these are a good size for eating for a meal. Watermelon does change just like a tomato in the refrigerator, so you don't need to put it in the refrigerator. It takes up too much room anyway. Use it keep it on your counter, and then when you're ready, just cut it up and use it. You'll have to put it in the refrigerator if you have too much or you can't eat it right away and you want to prep it, and you can do that. The longer it's in the refrigerator, the more of the juices are going to come out and they're going to get soft. You've probably experienced that. So, but you don't have to chill this unless you want to. And you can, if you enjoy cold watermelon, you can chill it a few hours before you're going to use it, and it'll be fine. Last but not least, I wanted to show you some drink options. So we have these in the inventory for you to select at any time. And we have been using the American gin and the white rum to make cocktails. So we've done some juices with some gin, and then we have these really good tonic water from Red Ribbon and the seltzer from Red Ribbon. So if you want top-notch cocktails, use these in your mixes. And then you probably know that ginger beer goes in a, what is it? Is it an old-fashioned? One of those rum drinks has a ginger beer and a dark and stormy. So these ginger beers are excellent, very gingery, made with organic ginger. Local farmer grows them. And so I don't have any basil in my box today, but I've shown you basil a number of times. Basil is a great herb to infuse into drinks. Of course, you already know about mint for mint juleps, but I just encourage you to experiment with your fruits and these drink options that we have. We've also had some people take the kombuchas. There's hard kombuchas and then there's regular kombuchas, and they are already flavored. Just add a little bit of your alcohol, a little bit of your seltzer or ginger beer, and make your own mixed drinks that are really creative and great for summer. So have a wonderful, happy time using your vegetables and creating exciting things. And don't forget to post pictures of them in our member chat group, because it's really fun to inspire other people. And I even have started featuring some of those pictures on the blog posts that accompany this video. So if you want to get in there for everyone to see, thumbs up and put those in the chat group, and I can pull those pictures off really easily and highlight something that you've made. So enjoy, be creative, enjoy these last few weeks of summer before it gets really busy with school starting. Have a wonderful week. Bye.